Greetings, Toronto Center, and to all women leaders on this significant day, International Women's Day. I am Regina Fidelis A, Director from the Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas. I am a proud alumna of Toronto Center's first Women's Leadership Program for Indo-Pacific Supervisors and Regulators. It is my privilege to speak on how Toronto Center Women's Leadership Program has helped me as a woman leader. I enrolled in the program because I want to develop my leadership skills as I am a relatively new leader. I also want to learn and find inspiration from stories of other women leaders and experienced mentors, plus get to know like-minded women leaders who are also supervisors and regulators. I was curious and interested on what the program has to offer as it is uniquely targeted for women leaders and regulators in the region. Personally, I thought it was a good break from my work and it was something that I needed at that time. After attending the 3-month program, I honestly believe that the Women's Leadership Program will help me become a better leader as it allowed me to get to know myself more based on the results of the Emotional Quotient Inventory. It gave me a reality check on the areas that I need to work on, which I was able to get some help and advice from my coach during the program. I valued the coaching sessions not only because my coach helped me with my concerns, but I also learned on how to be a good coach to my colleagues. Another valuable thing that I learned from the program, which I am applying to my work right now, is the use of action learning on problems and issues to find solutions. Action learning is characterized by mutual exploration through great questions that result in action and eventually a solution. It was not easy to comprehend at first, but when I started applying it, I appreciate the process as it allows people to think of solutions by asking more questions. Given the dynamic landscape in the central bank, the problems and issues vary and are becoming more complex. Hence, harnessing action learning becomes critical. As I have experienced it myself and saw it work, I believe I can be a better leader if I master action learning together with other tools that I have learned from the program, such as using different voices, managing polarities, and knowing if I am above and below the line among others. I am also honored that I get to hear and learn from the success stories of respected women leaders because I feel inspired and I know I can apply some of the takeaways when I'm confronted with the same circumstance as theirs. I know that my leadership journey is far from over. Women leaders like me will continue to face complex polarities and barriers as a mother, wife, sister, colleague, and leader. But one thing I am doing to #accelerate action is by starting my own action learning groups in my department and using the powerful questions which can help my team members to think more objectively as we solve issues and concerns. I have also been deliberate in reaching out and sharing my stories and learnings from the program to inspire other women in my own department, specifically potential women leaders, so they too can be empowered, equipped, and confident women leaders in the future. These may be small steps, but I know that the #accelerate action is in the ripple effect, which may be something more than I can imagine. I hope that I will help pave the way for more women leaders to inspire other women, unlock the full potential of women regulators, and shape future leaders to be transformative, determined, and resilient in this ever-changing world. The former First Lady of the United States, Michelle Obama, once said, and I quote, "There is no limit to what we as women can accomplish." So as we all #accelerate action, may women leaders' voices be heard, their stories told, and accomplishments celebrated. Thank you, Toronto Center, for helping shape women leaders like me to become better leaders and better persons. Again, happy International Women's Day to all.
Hello, my name is Blessing Gaiya from the Central Bank of Nigeria. I joined Toronto Center's Women's Leadership Program in 2023 because I recognized the unique opportunities the program had to offer me to grow as a woman leader and to be able to navigate the challenges of working in a male-dominated industry. A colleague of mine had introduced me to the program and she spoke very highly of its impact on her. So I was very excited when Toronto Center offered me the opportunity to join the 2023 cohort. For me, it was an opportunity to join other women leaders across sub-Saharan Africa and to learn the tools that I needed to gain confidence and to embrace my individuality and strengths as a woman leader. Joining the program has indeed had a huge impact on me. The mentored learning sessions were wonderful. It gave me an opportunity to collaborate with other women and to share experiences. And these experiences gave me fresh perspectives on how to solve problems. I also learned to embrace polarities, balancing opposing forces to make better decisions. So I learned that I could be both creative and logical. I learned that I could be assertive yet empathetic, collaborative yet independent. I learned that I could recognize an individual's performance and yet recognize the team's performance. I learned I should respect an individual for being a person, but I should also respect an individual for his performance. One of the things that I learned was that I could actually decide what kind of leader I wanted to be. And so for me, I decided I was going to be a strategic leader. One of the tools that I've used as a strategic leader is the tools of several voices. So I've used the voice of character, bringing transparency and integrity to show the way forward. I've used the voice of connection, being able to connect with my bosses, with other sister departments, with internal and external stakeholders. I've used my voice of clarity to communicate the strategy and the way forward for my colleagues, and also use the voice of curiosity to harvest ideas from my colleagues while fostering inclusivity. One of the things that I would do to accelerate action in my organization is championing inclusivity and mentorship. So I try to understand an individual's strengths and build on his strengths while trying to help them also better themselves in their areas of weaknesses. By fostering an environment where diverse perspectives are valued, I aim to inspire others and drive sustainable progress in our work. I want to sincerely thank Toronto Centre for giving me the opportunity to fully embrace my uniqueness as a woman leader and for helping me to lead with authenticity and resilience. Thank you.
I'm Namakau Mundia Ntini, and I'm the Registrar and Chief Executive Officer of the Pensions and Insurance Authority in Zambia. I was at a transition of my career. I felt like I needed to have the extra skills to push me into this executive role that I was transitioning into. I realized that in as much as I had held different roles in my workplace, I was taking on something that was totally different. And so I felt I need something that will give me a sort of different mindset, something that will give me a different purpose. And yeah, it was so interesting that it literally coincided with the time I was transitioning into a leadership role, and I felt like this is just the 10 key that I needed to get me going. I like the structure of the Women's Leadership Program for Toronto Centre because it's got a structure to it in terms of the different sort of sessions you go through. But it's really one that's so practical, and it depends a lot on what the participants are able to bring out. So it really allows you to introspect and really sort of look into yourself, look at your strengths, your weaknesses, and see how best you can work on those as you undertake your leadership role. So I felt that it's one that prepares you for the life complexities that you have. I remember one session where we talked about a VUCA world. We live in a VUCA world, and how you have the different issues that you have to navigate, and how you still have to hold yourself up as a leader and still be able to deliver in your role. So I felt that it's one that really allows you to deeply introspect and work on yourself. So it's like you're a work in progress throughout the training training session, and by the time you're done with the program, you really come up with a lot of tangible to-do issues that you can run with, and those are quite relevant. So I found it very, very exciting and relevant. Like I said, I was just getting into a new role, and I needed something that can just give me that extra push and extra assurance that I really had it to deliver in this particular role. Basically, what I'm doing post the leadership program is, first of all, I've encouraged a number of women leaders to participate in this program. I think there was a lot of competition. It's kudos to Toronto Centre. It shows that the program is getting a lot of interest. I think a lot of people are interested all over the world to participate in it. But really, I encourage every woman leader to participate in this because I felt that it's something that they can benefit from. But besides that, in my current role, I've really tried to bring on board the various components of what I learned from the program to really ensure that the woman, whether you're in the marketplace or in the workplace, you are able to apply yourself and just have that confidence that there's a value that you can bring in. Because, one of the things that I note is that when you come to the skill set, I think women have asserted themselves. They're able to get the right qualifications and be able to compete favorably. But when you get into the workplace or the marketplace, wherever you are a leader, how do you then apply yourself? So then women tend to sometimes go back and take a step back and feel, is this really me? What if I make a mistake? What if, so it's really an issue of working on your emotional intelligence. So I have mentored women within the institution, and I'm glad to say that others have actually even transitioned into higher leadership roles. So it's something that I consciously do, and I also allow the women to realize that they are not in any competition with the men, and we complement each other. We have different attributes, and we can then bring those attributes, those values, and be able to make a very strong team. So it's something that I continuously do that. And interestingly, my institution almost has a balanced gender parity between male and female. So I keep telling the male as well, that colleagues, that we're not here to outdo anybody. We're here to work together and complement each other. So that's part of what we have done. I'm also working on a gender mainstreaming strategy for my institution. It's something that we started about a year ago, and I hope that this is something that will help us. I've also taken it out to industry as well, and we've had a number of initiatives that have assisted industry to have some form of a gender lens whenever they are designing their products, be it on the insurance side or on the pension side. Granted that we are supervisors of insurance and pensions. The Toronto Centre Women Leadership Program is very, very impactful. It's not one that is a textbook kind of program where you've studied, you've gone through university, and then when you get into the marketplace or workplace, you now have to figure it out. It's really very hands-on, and like I said, I like it because it's one that really allows you to really do a lot of introspection and work on yourself. Because first of all, as leaders, we often want to think it's the other person that needs to work on themselves, but I think it helps you to realize that I have these strengths and I have these weaknesses that I need to work on. And it really just coins the emotional intelligence theory and how you need to apply it in the workplace and in a leadership role. I'll do the Toronto Centre. If it's an advanced program, I'll sign up for it because it was quite exciting. The insights, the experiences, the engagement with other women, and you learn a lot from each other and realize that some things that you're struggling with, somebody else has a solution to it. And so it was quite engaging. It was fantastic.